episode of Apartment Theater. I'm sorry if it's a little echoey for me. I'm in a different location now, and if you could see on the stream, which we stream on YouTube, if you
Mm-hmm.
want to check that out, their links are somewhere on Spotify or wherever you're listening to this
Or you
on.
could just
Check
Google
it out.
us.
But yeah,
It's
it
fine.
kind of looks like I am. It
You're,
looks like I've been kidnapped.
it does kind of look like you've been kidnapped.
Yeah, there's no overhead
Very.
light in this bedroom, and I don't want my setups to be constantly in my bedroom, but they keep being in my bedroom. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, this
Welcome
is.
to Apartment Theater.
Yeah, welcome.
Did you say that already? I don't know.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I
Danny,
said it too now.
Danny got lost in the woods and then got kidnapped by the Blair Witch, so she will not be with us. And I don't think she's going to be with us for the next few episodes because she's going to Ireland, right?
I have no idea what is happening.
Okay. I don't either. So I just assume that she's not going to be here for the next 4 episodes.
Good luck,
So
everybody.
If we have no Danny for the next few episodes,
Mhm.
it's because she's somewhere else and we don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, this has been this is the end of the animation month,
Yes.
and we're
Animated
doing a
horror.
double feature because both these movies were
Short.
an hour or less.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna start off with one called Lily C.A.T, and then we're gonna do Blood the Last Vampire. So let's start off with Lily C.A.T here.
Lily
So the premise of it is this story is the record of those 13 astronauts who were forsaken from God in the spaceship sailed and fought to live desperately to their eternal death. The crew of an interplanetary starship fights for survival after an alien force takes control of their craft. You know,
But it's not really an alien force that takes control of the craft.
no.
I mean, I guess alien in the sense that they don't know what it is. So,
Yeah,
sure.
It got in through the air duct because there was a system mishap and it broke open something.
No. The cat, the robot cat, was just on the ship the entire time and was controlling it, like, from the beginning. And, like, told it to go up and get the thing and collect it. At least that's how I understood it.
Maybe.
And then it, like, fucks shit up on purpose so that way it would kill all the people. Or something. Or at least that's what the people were theorizing.
We don't even see many of the people get killed, right?
Yeah, we really don't.
Yeah, for some reason we just ended up with like 4 people at the end, and we're like,
yeah,
where some of them you see like kind of get like killed off, but you don't really see it. It kind of just fades to black a little bit.
Yeah.
Just goes to the next thing.
Which
I was surprised by.
Same. I was expecting this movie to be a lot bloodier.
Me too.
And a lot more graphic. I mean, the
goriest part was the cat.
Yeah, the goriest part was the cat. The like weird sentient bacteria, whatever the fuck it is. I mean, it looked cool. It looked very, outer space Japanese anime tentacle porn sorta.
Did you watch the dub or did you watch it subbed?
Oh, it was dubbed.
Okay, that's what I watched as well.
Yeah, because that was the only one I could find. Yeah.
But the dub wasn't terrible. I was
no, it wasn't. It was fine. But yeah, so it's just your typical. It's literally just alien animated. But the cat turns out to be the android. That's controlling the ship. I
just feel like bringing a cat is just a terrible idea. From all of these kind of alien movies, I've noticed that if you're going somewhere or if you're going to have something near something and you don't know what it is, maybe don't bring that, like the pet.
Maybe don't bring the pet, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't like figure out what the hell's going on with it, and then the one scene with the cat where it gets basically blended.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, of all the things
Okay.
I didn't want this to happen at all. I felt bad for it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not real, but it's like I didn't want to see that.
No, no. Which, like, kind of begs the question if the cat was ever real to begin with. Because there's the robot cat, which is known as, like, Lily C.A.T.
Yeah.
But then there's also the actual cat, question mark?
I don't think that they knew about the robot cat,
No, I don't think they did either.
but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I was kind of having a hard time figuring out what they were trying to do. It seemed like there was like 7 different plots that they wanted to try, and then they just ended the movie.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I was expecting more from this movie.
It somehow felt very long for a 1-hour movie.
Agreed. Felt very long. Just really weird.
Yeah, there was some intrigue and stuff too with like there's 2 people that get onto the spaceship that aren't supposed to be on the spaceship. We find out that one of them is like a murderer guy, and then the other guy's a detective.
Yeah.
Who's Australian for some reason.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. So they are like the people that are not supposed to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the detective handcuffs himself to the guy, and I'm like, well, where's he gonna go?
Yeah, where is he gonna go? What's gonna happen here?
Yeah, I felt like if there was anything for you to do, it was maybe not that.
I do love that when the captain is like shown that video of like the hey, there's 2 people that aren't supposed to be here. He's like, okay, what's gonna happen? 40 years are gonna go by the time we go back to Earth. Like everything's gonna be different. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, who gives a shit? Like, we're stuck here for the next however long year or whatever it is that they are to like collect data on this planet or whatever. Like, and then 20 years in, stasis again. Like, who gives a shit? I like this is probably the most rational captain I think I've ever seen. It's like
that and like Event
whatever.
Horizon.
Yeah,
like
we're
leaving.
Yeah. It's like, all right, whatever. Shit sucks, but moving on.
I mean, he brought up some really interesting thing. Well, it seemed it was going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. So we had the idea like, well, who is the random people that aren't supposed to be on here? So I thought it was gonna be like a sabotage thing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
So I was like, all right, well that didn't go anywhere. And then the captain is talking about like how technically he's like 200 years old because he's done multiple excursions in space.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what's the point of living forever? You just watch all of your friends die and you go home to nothing. So like, what's the point of like continuously doing this? And you think it's gonna be really interesting, but you're just gonna know nothing and you won't learn it, and you're just gonna like you're gonna be an ancient relic to time. And I'm like, okay, well that's interesting, but that doesn't really lead to anything either.
No.
So you're kind of just like, I feel like he was just spitting philosophy at the last second, and then a giant alien comes out and attacks them.
Yeah, and eats the ship basically.
Yeah, the music was kind of cool too.
Yeah, the music was good in it.
Yeah, I was kind of into that one.
Yeah, I don't know. This movie was like mediocre to me. Like, it was fine. I'm glad it was only an hour.
Yeah.
I wasn't like terribly moved by it or anything. I wasn't overly impressed by anything. It's just like, yeah, okay. It's a movie I've seen now.
I was just expecting it to be like really crazy and over the top, and
that's what I was expecting too. Yeah.
Because the thing about like a lot of like 80s, 90s anime stuff, like when it gets adult, it would get like really fucking gross. Like it was going through some like, I don't know, like it was getting real edgy.
Yeah.
During those times, like there's one called Geocyber or Genocyber, something like that. But you have like, I wish we could watch it for the show, but it's like a 12 episode thing. But
Mm.
there's a point where there's like a monster that gets into a guy, and you could see it bulging in the guy's throat, and then it just explodes guts everywhere. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Nice.
How do I watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I think there was another one too. It was Angel Cop. It wasn't a horror thing, but like someone would get shot in the head, and their brains would like fly out from like one side of their head, and it just gets really grotesque for like no fucking reason. You're like, all right, I don't know what the hell's happening here, but I'm good.
Yeah.
And there's far worse things out there too. Like I know it's not just 80s and 90s stuff. Like there are some other things where like,
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
I watched one. I think it was called like Midori or something because it was on the iceberg list. And I'm like, well, I found it on Archive, so I'll watch it. I'll see how it goes. And yeah, it would just get really fucking disgusting for like no reason. And like this is just edgy.
This is just
I don't
edgelord shit.
It's just a lot of edgelord shit. Some of it's cool, but a lot of it's just like, why?
Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Is this necessary? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Ninja Scroll. That was another one that was like that. Someone would get sliced and just guts everywhere. And it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
But yeah. This, if you've seen Alien, if you've seen The Thing,
Yeah.
it's basically that.
It's just that.
But it's in space, and like there's sometimes some cool stuff. Like Monster, we've said before, is really cool looking, but the story and everything just doesn't go anywhere. I think if it would have been more fleshed out, I mean, if it wasn't just an hour-long thing, like if they could have actually like gone somewhere with it, maybe it could have been a really cool thing. But for what it was, it was just all right. It's not the worst thing we've ever watched, that's for sure. That's for damn sure.
That's for
actually.
damn sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It wasn't like watching Demon City Shinjuku when we were just like, this is fucking garbage. I hate this.
Oh my god, that movie. Yeah. Anyway,
so do we recommend watching Lily C.A.T? That's about where I'm at.
Yeah.
If any of this sounded intriguing, by all means, you can go for it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And like
it's on Roku.
Yeah, that's what I watched it on.
That's what I watched it on too.
What a random ass streaming service to just be thrown on.
Yeah, right.
I'm surprised it wasn't on like Tubi or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's a physical release. If there is, it's probably hella expensive because a lot of these like niche anime things don't get re-released very often.
Yeah, they really don't. But it was fine. But it was fine.
Sure. If you want, sure. If you don't, that's fine too. That's You will probably forget that we watched it, just like most of the other things.
Yeah, it is a non-memorable film, good or bad. Like,
it was just
anyway.
So,
Let's talk about
that was
Blood the Last Vampire instead.
I was really hoping that we'd have more to say for it, but really it was just there's nothing interesting going on here. So this one is Blood the Last Vampire. This came out in 2000. On the movie poster, it says it's from the creators of Ghost in the Shell, but it's not the same director. So I don't know what they're talking about for it, and I didn't do too much research into it.
Yeah, maybe like same animation company or I don't know.
It's Production IG, which I don't know if they did Ghost in the Shell, and I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but
it doesn't mean anything then to me.
Yeah.
You're right.
Also, the last studio was for the Lily C.A.T was Studio Pirouette. I can't remember what they've done either, but I know that they've worked on a lot of things, and same with Production IG. I mean, like Production IG had Neon Genesis Evangelion as one of their things at one point. So, like, I think it was just with the movies. I don't think it's with the shows. But anyway, Blood the Last Vampire.
Yes.
Let me read the synopsis here, and then we'll get into it. In Japan, the vampire hunter Saya, who is a powerful original, is sent by her liaison with the government David, posed as
The
a
government
teenage student.
David.
Posed as a teenage student to the Yukata high school on the eve of Halloween to hunt down vampires. Saya asks David to give a new katana to her. Soon she saves the school nurse Makiho Amano from two vampires disguised of classmates, and Makiho witnesses her fight against a powerful demon. I don't know who wrote that description, but that was totally fucking all over the place.
Yeah, I mean it was correct, just
kind of
not super grammatically great. But then again, who is anymore? So it's fine.
You're right. Honestly, it felt like I was reading like Chat GPT. Where I was like, what am I reading right now?
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely enjoyed this movie a lot more than Lily C.A.T.
I was disappointed by
yeah.
this, honestly.
I don't think it's like a great movie, but of the two of them, I would rather watch this one. I liked the way the vampires looked.
The vampires were really cool looking.
Yeah, I like their grotesque nature. They do remind me a lot of the like demons and things from Castlevania.
Yes.
They have a very similar feel to them, so I really liked that. They had like these very strange like horse faces when they were in like vampire form with like vampire teeth. It was very bizarre. But I sort of liked that.
I would like to see a movie about vampire horses.
Vampire horses? Yeah, that would be fun.
Why not?
Why not?
You know, why not? Some flying horses, they're like unicorns, but they're like vampires.
Yeah. I mean, I think for like a short animated horror movie, like this movie kind of gets the job done. It's not overly bloody. I do think they could have put more blood in it. I really think they could have.
For something called blood, there's barely any blood.
There's not a lot, especially when she says that like they need to lose a lot of blood in order to die. They're not losing enough.
No,
they're not losing enough.
I was expecting a lot more action from this one too.
Yeah, me too.
Like it looked like it was gonna be like really slick, some crazy katana shit going on.
Yeah,
like
it was funny to me that she broke into the antique store and stole the katana, and it was fake.
Yeah.
It was a mall sword katana, not a real katana. That was really funny to me. I was like, that sucks. But that's funny.
There was, I don't know, like some of it just kind of felt really rushed and random to me.
Yeah.
You have to pose as a high school student. Why?
Yeah, she's clearly been around like for a really long time.
She's also a vampire.
Because she's also a vampire.
That was the twist at the end.
Yeah. That I think we all saw coming. I think there's a live action version of this movie that was made in 2009.
Yes, I was worried that you watched that one and not the animated one.
I was trying so hard to figure out what the fuck I was trying to watch, and I was concerned that I was also not watching the right one. That's why I was like, where are you watching this? Because what? I started watching it on YouTube, which was not great quality. And then
there is a Blu-ray release of this movie, but it's out of print, and it's been out of print, and it's like $200. So
not surprised.
Not picking that one up.
Yeah.
If I find it at a thrift store, I will, but I'm not picking this
right.
up.
I mean, like, yeah, of the two movies, I would much rather watch this one. This is only 45 minutes long or something like that. Like,
but it also felt like it was really long.
A little bit, yeah.
There's also like 4 minutes of credits, so really it's like a 40-minute movie. It's like watching it's a OVA, which is essentially just like a long episode of something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is something that it's not based off of a manga or like a light novel series or anything. It's like its own thing. And then later on, they went and did something called Blood Plus and Blood C, and they're kinda, sorta related a little bit. Like the idea of this went on to make that, and I remember that stuff coming on like Toonami. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what the fuck was going on for that either. So.
That's funny. I think it's funny that it was on Toonami.
I mean, there
I'm
was
not-
some weird shit on
There was some weird
Toonami,
shit.
and like the definitely like the Adult Swim part of it too. I remember one. It was called like Reign the Conqueror, and I don't
Yeah.
think anyone remembers what it is.
No.
I just it gave me nightmares as a kid. It freaked me the fuck out, and I don't know why. I was just hoping that maybe somebody out there remembered this, because I don't know anybody that has seen it.
Yeah.
But every time I see it like at a half price books or something, like, dude, have you seen this? This thing is so fucking weird. And like, I've never heard of that in my life. And like, of course you fucking have it. God damn it.
What are you talking about?
But yeah,
the like
it's
animation style of this was also interesting. I guess it was like a style back then for either characters to just have these really thick lips that were like completely outlined, or zero lips at all.
Did you ever watch the Animatrix? It was like the animated anthology thing for the Matrix.
No.
Okay. Well, it felt like this. Since you haven't seen it, it's kind of hard to go off of it there. But animation-wise, it's very similar to that. So I think that was just kind of like the style at the time. If you were like a because I feel like if it was mainstream, if it was like mainstream stuff and it was digital, they had like the extremely big eyes. It looked really stupid.
Oh yeah.
Or it looked like this, where it was. I don't know how to describe it. Just very.
Yeah. I mean,
cool
I like the design of the main character. I do sort of not understand why she had to wear like a Japanese schoolgirl uniform when like very clearly none of the other kids in the school were wearing a uniform. Like it was a military base school.
Yeah.
And none of them were wearing a uniform, like, but her. And which, I guess part of that could be, like, you know, the government guy who is an American, like, is trying his best at, like, Japanese culture and, like, doesn't understand Japanese culture either, and is like, this is all I know is school uniform. And you're ancient, so here you go. And so, like, it does make her very much out of place. Which I do like, because, like, they're trying to make a point of her, like, being much older than what she is. And, like, not completely giving that away up front, even though, like, the title kind of gives it away. But, yeah. I don't know. I liked that aspect of it, even though it was still kind of silly. And I'm like, did y'all just not do your research? You only do the research on the monsters.
What was the point of the nurse coming around for things too? Like, why did she bring her along?
Well, so the vampires, once they like started hunting her. They kept wanting to hunt her, so she was like the target. So I guess she was protecting her.
Why did she attack that random like guard? Like, did she didn't put him like in that little pretzel and stuff him in the door for the military base, right? Like, was that the vampire that did that? I was having a hard time following this one.
I'm not sure. That may have been one of the moments that I like looked away because I was messing with the cat. Because I thought she had just like punched him and knocked him out and kind of like got him out of the way.
And then he was dead when they saw him again.
Oh yeah, that was probably like one of the vampires.
Yeah, like he was like twisted up and like stuffed in the door, and like the government guy was like, "I'm trying to get in, but this guy's in the way."
I would assume that was like one of the vampires locking them in. Yeah, because the vampires locked them in to whatever, hunt them and shit. So they probably just used his dead body for that.
Could you imagine going to work as a school nurse and then some kid just comes out of nowhere with a katana and kills a fucking vampire in front of you?
I'd be alarmed. I would be
Like,
very alarmed.
I'd be like, all right, let me pull up the old LinkedIn here real quick.
Yeah, I'd be like, they do not pay me enough for this shit at all.
But yeah, I really like the animation for it. I kind of wish that there was a little more going on. Also, part of it, since we're having to watch some of these on like pirated sites and YouTube and shit, man, the compression that we were dealing with for this one was so bad. I couldn't tell what the fuck I was looking at. And it wasn't because of the movie. It was because of trying to watch it on one of these random ass players. Like, dude, please give me a good copy of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't tell what the fuck
it was tough.
That final battle with the vampire too was kind of lackluster, where she just kind of reached up, slashed him, and he fell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in that. Like, I mean, maybe their budget was cut or something, so they couldn't add a few more scenes of action in there for that.
You know, wouldn't be the first anime thing to have that happen.
Yeah.
With I know with Neon Genesis, their budget was practically $0, and they were just stuffing in random things, and that was the end. And people were like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, don't know. Yeah. Fun fact: did you know that Neon Genesis has enough merch to where you could actually live off of the merch that they sell? Like, you can do. Basically, if it exists, there is something Neon Genesis related for it.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's bars of soap, deodorant, there's toothpaste, there's just microwave meals that you can get. I think there's even a house.
Good for them, I guess.
Yeah, there's so much shit. There's a really good video on it too that I would recommend. But yeah, I didn't know that it existed. Also, people want to buy too much shit. I don't understand it. But
consumerism, hooray!
Yay! So yeah, Blood the Last Vampire. It was. It was an interesting idea.
Yeah, I feel like Lily C.A.T got like 2 stars out of 5.
Yeah.
Blood the Last Vampire got like 3, maybe 2.5. Arguably.
See, I had Lily C.A.T at 2.5 and Blood at 2.
Oh.
Yeah, which I know is not really that much. It's like different things I like about.
Are you aware that you did the shocker when you did that for 3? Yeah.
It's 2.5. Hey.
You're holding up shocker.
Baby,
anyway.
I give you a 2.5 and another 2.5. That's 5 stars, baby.
How is that 2.5?
This is like half a finger. I can't like snap my finger off.
Yeah, but like your pinky's up and your thumb.
Well, yeah, I was trying to do like I don't know. I'm trying to explain a physical thing on a podcast.
Sorry, everybody.
It made sense in my head.
Yeah, while you were gesturing.
Yeah, well now it just looks like I'm just normal fingering now. Like this just looks silly. Like it just looks stupid. I don't have
my hands just look like I don't know. They're like little skeletal, little demon paws. Anyway.
Yeah, you got little demon paws.
I do.
Anyway,
it's great.
so for this one, we were also kind of just, if you're interested, why not? I don't care.
Yeah.
I know these weren't the most interesting. We thought these were gonna be awesome. That's what happens every fucking time.
I know.
We're like,
I thought
excited about something.
Like, good.
Yeah. It was like, oh, this looks so badass. I'm so ready for this. And then we watch it. And it's like, God damn it.
Like,
please.
Yeah.
Did we watch anything that we liked for the animated horror?
No. I don't know. How did we feel about Bird Boy? It was like interesting. It was sad.
That one was okay. What did we watch after that?
Mad God, which was
boring
as hell.
I don't want to watch after that.
Swimming to Sea, the
yeah,
fish movie.
that one. Okay, that one I liked.
Yeah.
All right.
The fish movie.
The depressing Finding Nemo.
The depressing
I liked
Finding
that
Nemo.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was.
God. Okay, that one was actually good. All right. So yeah, Animation Horror Month has come to a close. I want to thank you guys for coming around and checking out the episodes. All 5 of you out there. I know it's 5 because I get an email from Buzzsprout now that tells me how many people have downloaded the episode.
Aww.
And it was 5.
Thanks,
so
5
thank you.
people.
Thank you to the 5 random people out there. If anything, it's a time capsule for you and I.
Yeah.
And Danny.
It is.
Remember when we talked about this?
It's true. It's true.
And our voices are out there forever.
Forever. Forever. Anyway.
We got to figure out what we're going to do for the theme for next month, but we'll figure that out, and you guys will see what happens. It's going to be
keep a ear out for the surprise.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribe, like, and comment, and all that stuff. If you randomly found us, say that you randomly found us. How did you find us? Were you recommended by a friend? Tell your friend to comment as well. And then rate the show on Spotify as well. Give us a 5-star if you like the show. And thank you guys for coming around. If you are coming around, it helps us out a lot. Also, it's really nice just to know that somebody's out there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like we're just kind of talking to ourselves.
It's true.
Yeah. This is like the 5th room change I've had so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. But anyway, thank you guys for coming around.